What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Build or Rebuild, where we take teams from the NHL or the NBA that we feel need to retool or rebuild their teams, and we go over what moves that we think they would need to make this offseason. So to continue our series, we're going to the association, to the Portland Trailblazers.
Portland had another disappointing season.
Yeah.
They played Denver, who should have been the better team, and they were.
Yeah.
But they didn't have Jamal Murray. And
Yeah.
without Jamal Murray, I thought Portland was the team to beat.
The door was definitely open. So they weren't the typical 6 seed against the 3 seed Nuggets. So
Yeah.
it's back-to-back years now that they've been knocked out since making it to the conference finals in 2019. So
It's like, and this has led to a lot of, let's just get it out of the way, trade talk with Dame Lillard.
yeah,
And this is another case. It's like Buffalo with Jack Eichel, is you don't trade him unless he asks.
yeah,
Because in these playoffs, with the way things have gone, Portland is a team that could have won the championship had they stayed the course.
Yep.
With the injuries and stuff like that, if they were able to stay healthy.
yeah,
So that's why it's always good if you have a solid team to keep that around as long as you can.
yeah,
And this team, if they can keep everybody around, they have a very good chance. Damian Lillard's very much not the problem.
No.
It's the depth around him.
yeah,
To put up historic numbers and continuously getting bounced in the first, back-to-back years getting bounced in the first round.
yeah,
And never really being a legitimate contender.
Yeah.
It's got to leave a sour taste.
yeah. I don't know where do you go from here, because
So
it's tough to say.
You can't beef this team up. You got to keep building from within, and I don't know if they have the development to do that.
Yeah.
And this team, as it is, I don't think can win. So that leaves you with the option of rebuilding, because there's not a major signing they can make. There's not necessarily an area of weakness. Maybe beef up on power forward,
Yeah,
or get a bigger small forward if Norman Powell isn't staying.
yeah.
At center, I think they're good if they can keep Nurkic and Canner.
I don't think they do, just for the purpose of trying to bring in more impact guys, because I think they need depth on the wings.
Yeah.
I think if they want to win, I think it's almost proven that they need to have another star in there to take some of the production away from Dame. But if you go into a full scale rebuild, like you're saying, it can't include Dame.
No, Dame's too good.
I think he's gone. I think they go that direction.
Yep.
But if
the issue is they needed more out of everybody not named Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
When they lost that series, Dame was playing. He put up 19 of their 21 points in their elimination game or the game before.
Yeah.
Forgot which game it was. And that's not enough from your team. 19 of 21 points.
Yeah.
Like the one guy versus an entire team. Like Denver's a good team, even without Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
And one guy was giving them a run for their money.
Yeah.
So imagine if like this Portland Trailblazers team is capable.
Yeah.
They just didn't do it, and for whatever reason. I don't see Norman Powell staying.
No, I don't either.
And because of things like that, I don't see Nurkic. Like I think it's going to be a ripple effect where Powell leaves, Nurkic may go, Canner's probably gone.
Well, Nurkic can't go till next year.
No, he can't. Melo. Well, I'm talking trades.
Oh, okay,
Melo is probably going to walk.
Right.
And that just kind of leaves Dame and McCollum as the two guys locked up.
I think they just need, like you said, go through a full-scale rebuild. And I think, which would mean that they have to get the right coach for it too. Because they have to figure out, if they're keeping Dame, they have to bring it. There's different coaches for different situations.
Yep.
But yeah, I think they need to figure out what they're doing with Dame and then go after a head coach before they think of making any of these moves.
Yeah. They don't have anybody else to build around. There's no one coming up in the system.
No.
So it would be starting from scratch. Now, for argument's sake, let's just say they go a different route. They're able to keep Dame, trade pretty much, and let everybody else walk.
Yeah.
Is there a way in which that could work for this team? I don't know if Portland, the only reason free agent signing the idea of it doesn't work for me is I don't know if that's an attractive destination outside of getting to play with Damian Lillard.
Because you've seen the stuff, like you've heard reports of what they had to do just to try to get Norman Powell to take his player option.
Yes.
And to just think about staying.
They
you know?
bought him a house.
They
treated, I think, his dog well
like
or something.
They
like,
made sure his dogs were traveled here.
Yeah.
They stocked it with
By
all his
car.
favorite snacks and stuff. They
Yeah.
they did all these things for Norman Powell, who is a good player, but he's
a
not
quality starter.
But he's not a top end free agent in any class, really. I mean, maybe this year's free agent class is a little weaker, so he's going to be a little more coveted than stronger years. But it's Norman Powell. Like, he's just a depth guy. Maybe he's a number 3 on some teams, but he shouldn't be one of your top 2 options.
Yeah,
and that's how they're treating him.
I think, yeah, three to 5 is a healthy place to have him.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's frustrating because it's probably frustrating for Dame that, you know, he can't get help in here, and there's only so much that Dame is going to take.
It's the greatest clutch player of our generation, and the best they've done for him is get him to the conference finals, which he got him to the conference finals.
And they were not getting past. They were not going to
State.
get past Golden State that year.
No.
So I don't really know where you go. There's a lot of avenues, and it all depends on, they have to figure out what Dame's future is and then get the right person in charge of that. Because Dame's not getting the coach he wanted. Jason Kidd did pull his name out of the running for head coach. I think if they go for a rebuild, the best option is probably Becky Hammon for a head coach. She's been, you know, Greg Popovich's right-hand woman the entire time or for numerous years in San Antonio, and they're kind of going through their own rebuild. Players respect her. I think she's probably, if they go for a rebuild, is the most, and even if they don't, because there's definitely going to be some sort of retooling if they keep Dame.
There are going to be major moves this offseason.
Yeah, but they need to figure out those things first. They need to figure out Dame first and foremost if he is leaving, and then they have to try to find the best offer in order to rebuild there. So
yeah, it's a wait and see situation. They could go 2 routes.
Yeah.
I don't think they should stay the course.
no.
I think they do need to go through some serious moves again, whether that's a rebuild or strengthening.
Yep.
And the only reason it's tough to talk about strengthening is their cap isn't all that flexible.
No.
And again, it's not an attractive place. So
Yeah.
it's a wait and see to see what they do. I do like the idea of getting Becky as head coach. It just kind of change the face of this team and
Yeah.
go in a completely different direction, whether that's with or without Dame. Mm-hmm. They should be able to pair well together.
Yeah.
Or without.
Because it wasn't Terry Stotts' fault that they lost either. Terry Stotts is a great head coach, but he can only do so much when your offense is centered around Dame, and you know there's inconsistency in his depth behind that. So but yeah, new voice, new image. I think that's the way to go.
Now, what's the possibility of them getting someone like KP via trade? Like, do you think they give up McCollum and maybe even Nurk?
Yeah, because his stock is probably the lowest it's been for a while.
Yeah.
So I think that could be an option. And yeah, if you probably give up Nurkic, because they'll need a big going back the other way.
Yeah.
McCollum would probably have to go the other way too, because their picks won't be as valuable, especially if you bring in KP, because their picks this year are going to be fairly high because they're in a playoff position.
Yep.
So yeah, if they're going after, because they're obviously going to expect to win if they go after Porzingis. So it can't be one of those things where, you know, they just give them a mess of picks like the Paul George trade.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Portland wants to give them a mess of picks like that either.
No, I think if they can make something work with McCollum and Nurkic, that's really the only move I can think of that will give them a quick fix.
They'd have to throw some picks in there, I think, too. Maybe not, actually.
No, I think that's fair value. Fair value both ways. Because Nurk and McCollum are serious second and third options for Luka.
Yeah. So,
and I think if they can get KP, then they can add in another piece. Maybe keep Norm.
Yeah.
Move Norm to shooting guard and get a real small forward. Maybe.
Something
like that.
There's a lot of avenues, and it'll be interesting to see what they do this offseason.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the Build or Rebuild series that we'll be uploading all throughout the summer. Comment down below what you think the Blazers should do. And yeah, make sure to watch for our weekly videos and our weekly uploads. We'll see you next episode. Peace. Yeah. I hope my